is Solange a better artiste than her sister?
Absolutely.
Oh, is she a better artist? Is she a better artist?
I mean, when you put it like artiste, when you put it like that,
I know how I said it initially, but then I was like, I feel like they gonna really see how I put it. But I'm just mean like literally as an artist, like making music.
Yes, I like
from a musical standpoint. Yeah,
from a musical I mean, but Beyonce is the queen. She's Queen Bee, and she can make hits. She can. However, Solange is an artist. Yo, welcome to Beers and Bars,
your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and of course great beer.
I'm Kamal Kiddo.
OT the Golden Child. Come on, I got to change that up actually, because that rapid fire discussion shit. That's when we used to have 10-minute shows and we had 3 topics at 2 minutes apiece. It's not really rapid fire no more. It's kind of like long form, dialogue and talking for like an hour.
Long form dialogue, right.
Your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and long form dialogue. How y'all doing today? Let's do it. There you go. Yeah, man, we are back with a new episode here. You know what I mean? Shout out to Afro Beer Chicken Juice, who joined on our last episode where we talked about Donda. Whether you're listening out there or watching on YouTube, thanks for doing that. If you are not subscribed on either of the platforms you are listening on right now, stop, subscribe, come back, press play. There we go, man. Guest here today, dope dudes out of, should I say DMV? DMV, is that proper to do?
DMV, but Northern Virginia to be exact.
Okay,
just because, yeah.
Y'all introduce yourself. Go ahead, man.
Hey, man, my name is Uche, one half of the Ill-Advised Wise Guys podcast.
Yes.
Man, we here with some dope individuals here, so thank y'all for having us back. Whoa,
yeah,
me back. I think this is Q's first time, but go ahead, man.
It's my first time.
Right.
It's my first time. Q Deezy for Sheezy. It's way too easy. AKA the Widow's Peak Bandit, AKA Daddy Long Legs, AKA Michael Gordon. I'm in the house. Hey, I'm happy to be here with some great Chicago folks that know how to. They know their rap music, man. That's always
Chi-Town.
Always fun. Chi-Town. Chi-Town in the house.
The history of rap in Chicago is legendary. I would say it's much more legendary than our area. I gotta give y'all that credit, honestly.
What?
Y'all gotta. Yo, listen, they got some roots. No, hey, Q, listen, let's give it up. They got roots in Chicago from hip hop. It's not to be played with. Like we gotta keep it a buck, like Antetokounmpo. You feel me?
Hey,
like Drake said, gotta keep it
with
a
the
buck.
bars, man.
Hey, beers and bars, man. Listen, we gotta do it.
Why are you intentionally taking shots at the DMV? Like nobody asked you to do that, Ooch. You just volunteered to take shots. Come on, man.
Hey. Truth or shots? It's all good. It's not a shot, man.
You are no longer allowed in Yums. Yums 1 or 2. You can't come back.
It's cool. I'll come to 3 and 4 then. Yeah, I don't care. I don't like 1 and 2 anyways. It's all good.
Listen, that's some
DMV.
So.
That's some DMV shit, by the way. So
yeah, I'm like, yeah.
So we have these gentlemen here for a very these distinguished guests here for a very important show today. Y'all have been waiting. We go ahead and let Kanye get his little stuff off. You know what I'm saying? We let Kanye get his little Donda run off. And now it's time for CLB, Drake, Certified Lover Boy. What y'all feeling about it?
Oh, wow. I like that. That's
Also, we are also talking about Westside Gunn. What's the joint? Hitler wears Hermes 8. Clearly Adolf.
Top 5 maybe. Creeping up.
But before we get into those albums and discuss the expanse of both of these artists and their work, what are we drinking, fellas? What are we drinking?
I'm gonna go first, man. Big shout out to old Irving. I saw last week that they came back out with their triple Beezer, and I was like, hell yeah, because I love triple Beezer, man. Why do I love it? Because I'm a basic bitch IPA guy. And this is a triple IPA. Double dry hop triple IPA coming in at 10%. This is one of my favorite hazies to come out within the past year or two. So shout out to old Irving for bringing this joint back. Citra Mosaic, yeah, it's just Citra and Mosaic hopped. So this joint is delicious, man. So I'm happy to be drinking this on such an important show.
Word.
Yo, I'm feeling the moment of this episode. We got Kamal sounding like a damn a WWE announcer. Like he just announced
word to
the
Westside
episode.
Gunn.
Yo, you did that. I see what y'all doing.
Go ahead, Uche, what you drinking, man?
Exactly.
Drinking.
All right, man. Listen, I got a drink called Lost Barrel. It's a toasted lager. It's out of Middleton, Virginia. 6%. See, it's pretty smooth. I like it. I mean, I never had it before. Bought it. It's decent. You know.
Word up.
We shall. Yeah, it's a toasted lager. There you go.
Word up.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Ooh, that looked like a Trader Joe's barbecue chip bag.
Hey, come on,
it does.
Come on, beer be from Trader Joe's, G. Well, at least 80% of it.
A lot of it does. Fact. You know
they
what?
got some good beers though.
Yo, do they really? I only get wine from Trader Joe's. I get wine from Trader Joe's, not the beer though.
My beer today is from Mariano's, but
yeah. So Trader Joe's and I think in every area, you know, they are a good source for some or a good amount of the local craft beer spots in that area. So they got a lot of, you know, just Chicago beer in Trader Joe's. So yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's dope. Well, I'm drinking on straight from the Nile River. Some water right here.
That looks delicious.
Pour the juice. Shout out to Good in the Hood. He poured the juice for a second. All right.
Founders all day IPA session L.
Word
I kept
up.
it a little basic.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Is it called all day IPA?
All day IPA.
Yeah, it's their session joint.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Come on, hold on, pause for 1 second, actually, because I know this might be a little bit longer show. So shout out to Ooch for talking about Chicago. This is a Chicago staple right here. I might crack this joint open. This is a Goose Island 312. 312 area code, man. This is just a classic Chicago staple urban wheat ale joint. So yeah, man. Come on.
Hold on. Goose Island is a Chicago beer?
Mm-hmm. Goose Island is a Chicago beer company. Yeah.
I had no idea. All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Goose Island, it used to be popular for their
we drink that out. We drink.
It's an actual restaurant too.
Yeah.
Wow.
They got like shrimp. Yeah.
Their biggest thing that everybody usually knows as far as, you know, around the beer community is their Bourbon County joint that they release every year. I don't know if it makes it out that way, but big stouts in the house. Yeah.
That's
big stout.
man.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Big stout.
So I'm having Bubble Tub. This is a Kettle-Soured Saison ale. This is with watermelon. With the tub.
Come on here with that soft ass
bro.
beer. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I saw this at Mariano's the other day, and I was like, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and check this joint out. You know what I'm saying? I am a sour type of guy. Shout out to Argus, RIP. You know what I'm saying? They no longer exist. They did not survive the pandemic, unfortunately. But I still check for, you know, obviously I still got merch from them. So if they come back, shout out to Argus. You know what I'm saying? One of the first breweries to have us in their space. The first, yes, the first brewery. The absolute number one, the first brewery to have us, to host us in their space, let us use their space to record a show.
Yeah, oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope, man. Yeah,
that is dope. Wow. Shout out them.
If they're watching this, man, y'all got to bring that back. Clearly,
it's really upsetting that they're no longer like they had a really nice space. You know what I'm saying?
Set up a couple meal right now. Too. Yeah.
But
let's see. Come on, what we doing first, man?
Getting into it. What's up?
Yeah, we got to go ahead and get into it. I don't. We can come straight in with the missiles and come right in and go. Let's do that. You know what? everybody who's, if you see this pop up on your Spotify or whatever, and you see Drake, you know, that we reviewing it, obviously you probably came here for that. So let's get right into it. I wish I knew what studio album. Look, I'm not even doing my research.
That we're talking about Drake first, actually.
What number is this? What studio album is this for Drake, man?
That's a good question.
I usually have that information.
I'm gonna take a guess and say 8. Okay. I'm taking a guess though.
Well, I'm gonna go with like 7. I think this is 7.
I think it's 6.
You think it's 6?
Yeah, because we're not counting Dark Limo.
Why aren't we counting that though?
we ain't counting the little playlist that he did.
We gotta count the playlist. We gotta count the playlist.
Why aren't we counting the playlist?
6 studio album.
Oh,
wait, studio.
Yeah.
So does that include or exclude the mother?
Probably include some shit. Come on, like, let's see. Let me check.
How are we? Look, Drake is a funny guy. How are we excluding More Life? Which
I'm not doing that
album.
That's in there. That's in his discography.
Dark Lane demo tapes, which is called Dark Lane demo tapes, makes it not an album, but he released singles off of it.
He's a smart man. He's a very smart man. He knows the music was bad, so you're like, you can't call it an album.
Yo, listen.
He misses.
Check this out. Check this out. That's
my top 5 for last year.
Check this out. That's how I've been feeling. Anytime Drake intentionally does not call something an album, he knows the music is not his best work. Period.
And it is listed as a mixtape as well. So that is not one of them. It's listed as a mixtape. So
which one is the mixtape?
Dark Lane demo tapes. It's listed as a mixtape. So you got to take that out of your shit from last year because it was not an album.
I will say this. I was gonna say, I will say this. If you're reading this and it's not too late, which I don't think is an album, studio album, that's one of his best.
That's one of his best. And I think
really
is. He is considered a mixtape.
It really is.
Yes,
Yo, that's crazy. All right. So if that's the case, then we got to include all his mixtapes in, because I'm not taking if you're reading this out of Drake's discography. I can't do it. That's his best work. It is a commercial
mixtape. Okay, so Drake, this is Drake's 8th project then, since they omitted those 2. It might be 9th because they may not have included
So Far
Gone.
Now, So Far Gone, to be fair, is a mixtape.
True.
That's a mixtape.
True.
Okay. But
all right, we can just go.
Let's go.
We just gonna add everything in there. We're gonna add everything in there. It's all right.
So
9th thing that he has done in life that he's released to people, Certified Lover Boy. Yeah, man. I don't even shit. I don't want to start.
No, I'm gonna start like this, and I'm not gonna start either. But
who the hell gonna start? Go ahead.
Yo, come on, it's y'all show, man. Come on now.
It's our show.
Do y'all thing, man.
So, Certified Lover Boy, we come into this it's the as of today, this is on a Sunday. It just dropped 2 days ago. It is the biggest first day streaming album on Spotify ever in their history. And I think that is mainly due to the back and forth with Kanye. However, I don't want to make this about Kanye versus Drake, because these are 2 completely separate sounds, separate albums, separate artists that do different things. And so this is my take on the album. First of all, I come into it already with all of the beef stuff, as everyone else, as well as knowing that I like Drake and knowing that I'm interested to hear what he's going to put out anyway. And we've been waiting for it for 9 months because it was supposed to drop in January. You know what I'm saying? People give Kanye flack for it's going to drop now. It's going to drop now. It's going to drop now. Fair enough. But Drake did say it was going to drop in January, and it didn't for months, even though he wasn't saying
he did say
in
that.
Between that time, it's going to drop. It's going to drop. Fair enough. Okay, whatever. So we got it now, and they have this album cover that I thought was a joke. I did not believe it, with the pregnant emojis, which is laughable. It's funny. It's funny. How you got songs like Knife Talk, and you got these pregnant women on the cover? I do think that's funny. You know what I'm saying? But he is a certified lover boy. And I've always thought that, even from Best I Ever Had, I always felt like, you know what do we call this music? What this guy is coming at a different angle. And it's always been Loverboy. It's always been that guy on, you know, spitting game at the ladies. This guy over here, you know what I'm saying? I think the album is all right. I think it is typical Drake. I think it's a lot of sounds on this album that sound like Drake. It sounds like a lot of songs that he's done before. Daddy's Home, Poppy's Home. Sounds like a beat that he used years ago. Songs like a lot of it. The Rick Ross and Lil Wayne song sounds very old to me. It sounds
like Lord Knows in a way. Like it has
like
elements of Lord Knows, if you will.
It sounds dated. It sounds dated in that sense.
Disagree some, but go ahead.
That's fine. That's cool. But I do want to say this. As far as like, I made a list of songs that I really like, and you can take this. This is to be heard as me saying this. This is to be heard that every other song on here is not. I'm not checking for it. I will definitely skip over every other song.
Look at you.
Champagne Poetry actually didn't quite do it for me this time. I looked to Drake for his intros and his outros. My God, his outros. But both of those this time around didn't really hit me like that. Shout out to Universal, because they did pay the Beatles that money to get, like, who else is getting Beatles samples cleared? No one is getting Beatles samples cleared. So shout out to the team.
Hold on, what song was that? What song we talking about?
Champagne Poetry. That
was the Beatles. I didn't even know that. All right,
come on with the context. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I see you. Journalists, come on.
But Poppy's Home is a little cringy, a little bit, but I actually like the song. I do like the song. It was funny hearing Nikki as the mom, because she is the mother to a lot of these young ladies out here that's kind of doing the same thing she was doing. But even though, you know, Kim is probably her mother, you know, or grandmother at this point. I don't know how you want to put that.
Everybody has a
But here we go. Fair Trade with Trav, my joint. Especially Trav. Trav got off. Way Too Sexy. I love it. I like that as soon as I heard it. He Can't Go Wrong with Future, because In Too Deep is definitely my joint as well. I really like Pipe Down. OT, you need to do that joint. You need to find that. You need to do that instrumental, man.
I'm not rapping over. Go ahead,
No Friends in the Industry. Right now, I feel like I got all of his gangster ratchet songs on here. You know what I'm saying? Knife Talk. I like it. 21. I like 21. What can I say? And I do like Project Peta. I did like that. Race My Mind. I kind of like that joint. I kind of dig that. Get Along Better with Ty Dolla. That's my joint. That's one of my
okay.
That's one of my top songs.
That ain't it. That ain't it. And I love Ty Dolla, but
that's one of my top joints.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
Of course, he gonna give you the Fountains joint. You know,
gotta get the cool vibes. Gotta get the vibes.
It's vibes. Okay, that's cool. It's a cool joint. I'm not gonna talk about it right now, but and those are all the songs that I really like. The Cudi joint was very confusing to me. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm gonna save it for later.
Okay,
that's interesting.
I like it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, but okay. So how do we want to do this? Like, everybody give their kind of like take on it, and then we like how we doing this? I just want to make sure I understand.
We can.
Yeah.
Please interject, because I got
if somebody
I got a lot of stuff I want to say.
Oh, okay. QD, this is your first time on the show. You go. You do it.
Can I dive in a little bit? Because
please.
First and foremost, I want to preface my comments. You know, Stephen A. Smith always says that. I want to preface my comments before he says something. You know, LeBron James is the greatest player. I believe he's one of the greatest players. He's a great father and everything. But he played horrible in that last game. So I want to preface my comments by saying this. I think that for the longest, Drake was the best artist in the game. I also think that, you know, Drake is a very underrated rapper. I don't think enough people put him on their top 10, top 20 rap list.
Say that.
Comment. I want to preface my comment by saying that I give Drake his flowers. But I also want to say that, number one, I don't think Drake has ever made great albums, guys. Like, Take Care was a very good album. But we can argue that was a great album. Let's say sonically it's a great album. It is. And then maybe if you're reading this, it's too late is a pretty good, great. That's my favorite Drake album, but I wouldn't say it's great. You know what I'm saying? I think Kendrick has some great albums in his catalog. I think J. Cole has some great albums in his catalog. I don't think Drake has that one undeniable great album on his catalog.
If you're reading this,
I wouldn't put that on the same lines as I wouldn't put it on the same lines as My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye. I wouldn't put it on.
So
the
you've
same
never
lines
heard Nothing Was the Same,
Butterfly,
right? Nothing was the same. Pretty solid.
It was, guys. It was a very good album, very good. But I wouldn't call it classic. I wouldn't call it great. But that's me. That's me. Hey, I'm crazy. But so what I want to say is
very crazy. FYI.
Views.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I feel like Views was one of those albums that was super duper hyped, right? And Views was very disappointing.
I agree.
think Certified Lover Boy, super duper hyped. And it was disappointing, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was disappointing. I think, Kamal, you said a lot of the things that I thought. It's, you know, somebody on Twitter said the perfect thing. He said, it sounds like somebody trying to make a Drake album. It's just, I was predicting every move he was going to make. I was predicting.
Predictable.
You know what I'm saying? I was predicting when the underwater beat comes along, you know, we just brought that point yesterday to me. When the beat turns into like starts sounding like it's underwater, I was predicting that. I was predicting when he was gonna do the hard raps and then follow it with like some, oh, you left me at home. You know, the little soft singing. I saw it coming. I saw the diss records, the one where I'm about to get on my hard hitting rap back.
I didn't think that was that hot.
It was pretty.
Whoa.
What the hell y'all talking about?
Bridal 7 a.m.
You didn't think 7 a.m. in Bridal? Yo, look, 7 a.m. in Bridal Path, he went nuts. Bruh. What are you talking about? Are you crazy?
He did.
You know what?
Listen, respectful. Listen.
I don't want to interrupt. Right. Go ahead.
Like Drake said on 7 a.m. in Bridal Path, I believe he said, "Yo, fuck respectfully. I want my respect." Like
that's a shot at Justin LeBoy.
Yeah, that's a shot at Justin LeBoy, but it might be one at Kamal, the way he's talking about that actual track. Like, what's up with like
what?
Right, Q, I'm sorry. I gotta jump in here. I'm sorry. But you please cut me off as well, like if you so choose. Before I before I kind of like give what I thought was bad about the album, I must say, I think that Drake, he's yet to get his proper due, his respect. I firmly believe when he says on these songs, like specifically 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, he's like, yo, there's a shortage of people giving me kudos. Like, I truly believe that. Like, it's like y'all hear the man rapping at a impeccable level, bar for bar, and y'all refuse to act like y'all just heard greatness. Like, I don't understand that mentality. I just don't get it.
Bro, if that was Black Thought rapping, people would have been like, damn, Black Thought killing it. That man is rapping on 7 a.m.
Bro, he went crazy. Like, are you like, I don't understand. What are y'all talking about? Like,
he's spitting bars. I think.
No, go ahead. Hold on. So sorry, just to throw this in here after that. So with that being said, you know, I don't want to like go too much of a rabbit hole because I do want to like chop it up with y'all like about the album, like song for song. But like, I just feel like Drake has yet to give, kind of to Q's point, he has yet to give us a undeniable performance on a body of work where everybody can look at it and say, yo, that boy, I don't care what you think about Drake. I don't care if you like him or hate him. Like, yeah, I don't like the way he smiles. I don't like, but you hear the way he was rapping all throughout that joint. He's yet to kind of do it in an undeniable fashion. Now, I'm saying that all to say that I do believe that If You're Reading This Is Too Late is his best project. I do actually do believe that.
Where's the raise your hand feature on here? I want to politely. I'm not interjecting, but I mean,
please,
yeah,
say what you got to say.
So like, in my opinion, like, it's hard to make great albums. Like, we don't just crown great. Like, if you look at Jay-Z's history, I think Jay-Z has 2-3 great albums or so. Jay-Z has The Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt, Black Album, and then you can argue maybe 444. So, like, this guy who's been rapping since 1996 has about 3 or 4, right? Nas has about 2 or 3.
Whoa, let's be clear. He has about 3 to 4 we have to
undeniable. Thank you.
So like when we say undeniable, we're talking about like critically acclaimed. Like, everybody, I don't care how you feel about this man, you have to give it up. Right,
every way
that's what we're looking for with Drake.
Every way
that's what we have to really analyze Drake's.
Every way you chop it, I can see flaws in every single Drake album, even the best ones. Like, I can see flaws.
If you're reading this, I mean, because right now everybody on this screen right now is saying, if you're reading this, and people herald Take Care as his best album. People say Take Care is the one. As far as his studio albums, publications talk about Take Care. And for me personally, Take Care is not my favorite. It's sonically his best. Sonically, my God, whoever is engineering this and putting these, the stuff in there, it sounds really good. But his bars on there, he's got too many. Why are you talking like this, man? When my girl leaves, I'm gonna go in her purse because I don't believe.
You know what? But I will say, because for the longest I've been on Take Care, and I think that Take Care is, to your point, I think Take Care is the most sonically cohesive sound for Drake. Like, when we think of Drake and what he's done for his entire career, if there's a sound that will basically tell the story about what Drake has done, it's kind of Take Care, because that was really when he really came into his own, right? As a, from a content standpoint, right? Emotional, certified lover boy. He's this dude who's hating on other dudes, talking to his girl. Like, he personified himself in that project, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't think that's his best work. I think that's like the project that defined Drake's sound.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Well, I mean, I think when you talk about great, right? Like, to me, let's deep dive a little bit on it, right?
Man, we got
Drake moved the needle, right? Like, I think Kendrick Lamar's album, like To Pimp a Butterfly, kind of moved the needle. Like, this is kind of a body of work that moves the needle. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think Astroworld is as close to great, if not is a great album.
It's a great album.
It moves the needle. I just feel like Take Care was a really, really good listen. You know what I mean? It was a really dope hits on there, but it doesn't quite move the needle like those other songs.
I don't think you're giving Take Care enough credit. I think at the time it came out, it actually was moving the needle. Progressive. It was a progressive sound. It was. It really was. Like,
at the time.
Like, there was some joints on there that really people didn't even understand Drake's sound fully at that point, and he was really experimenting and doing some things that wasn't really even being done at that level in terms of the sound.
But, like, when you listen to it, were you blown away in any type of way? Like, this is kind of what you expected from Drake on Take Care, right?
Music.
Like, musically, I wasn't really blown away. Like, when I listened to Astroworld, I was like, wow. Like, it took me a while for things to start clicking, like how Travis Scott put people in position to succeed, and just et cetera, et cetera. I was like, yo, what did I just hear? But I do want to say
Don Toliver off of Astroworld, man. I started checking for Don Toliver off of that album.
Yeah. Like, but what I really wanted to end my little my rant, my CLB rant, was that, like, I think people got to realize that, like, people have caught up to Drake, man. Like other artists have caught up to Drake. Like there's people that, dare I say, are doing things that Drake does a little better than him these days, a little more experimental than him. There's people that are switching between rapping and singing and doing it. Like for instance, people like Doja Cat, like everybody is doing it, like switching from rapping to singing, kind of doing the whole Drake thing. So his stuff doesn't sound as unique anymore. That's a testament to how good he was back then, because he was kind of like lapping the field back then, but he's no longer lapping the field. So I think CLB, maybe like 5 years ago, CLB would have sounded a lot more unique, special. But in this day and age, like when you hear stuff like Tyler, the Creator's album, when you hear stuff like what the Griselda folks are putting out, what even Lil Uzi Vert's putting out, like it's just music is at another level. And I think Drake is kind of like staying a little lower than what the highest level of music is.
I wouldn't even say lower per se, but it's status quo for Drake.
Yeah,
that's a better way. Like it comes off to me when I heard it the first time, I'm like, this isn't progressive at all. This is for those Drake fans. This is one note. It sounds like Drake is one note. He does this particular type of music very well, and he's gonna keep giving you that. And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like older, like these all sound like older Drake records. They all sound like older Drake records.
It sound like they could fit
all of this.
It definitely sound like they could fit in different eras for sure. Look, I gotta say this though, man, because like I dissected 7 a.m. and on Bridal Path like a lot. I really was paying attention to the bar, like what he was saying, right? I really was listening. And I just feel like
I'm gonna interject real quick. Why don't you in that song
Why
don't you in that song
Yo, we gonna do that. We gonna do that.
There's 20 songs on the album.
Matter of fact, I'm on Bridal Path right now. Can't you tell? Damn.
Oh yeah.
I'm there. I'm actually there right now. Yeah.
I see mad gas stations.
Nah, but seriously though, but seriously though, like we need a whole album full of Drake rapping. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Like that's what we need. That's what the culture
needs. If you're
that's
reading this,
that's what Drake needs. Drake keeps talking about they're not respecting him for this, that, and the third. Yo, go ahead and drop a whole album. We don't want the R&B shit no more, even though I love that Drake, honestly.
I do, yeah.
But I think that what he wants from a legacy standpoint, we need a whole rapping album. That's what's going to complete Drake's discography. We're yet to really get it, other than maybe if you're reading this, but that one is really not, I think, what we are looking for from Drake. Like we really want, I think we want Drake to spit. It seems like that's the missing piece, dog. But yo, OT hasn't said a word. Yeah, and I really want to know what this man. He's just staring at us talk. He's staring at us talk.
I let it out. I had the most organic moment ever in podcast history, man. My wife is out, and you know what I'm saying, she partying, you know, and my daughter's here. My 2 sons are here. And my son texted me like, yeah, man, you got to change this diaper. So my daughter went boo-boo while I was doing it. So I had to go and handle that real quick. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? First time ever, you know what I'm saying? QD, first time ever, you know, so a lot of first time. Yeah. All right, let's do it. So couple things. First of all, with this album, I've only listened to it twice. The first listen I gave to it, I felt like I wasn't listening and being objective. I felt like I was listening to it with my Kanye ears on. Like I felt like I was.
Somebody had to say it. I
felt like I was listening to it as a judge for a 12-round fight, right? Like I'm trying to make sure I get my opinions right and blah 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 blah. But I listened to it this morning on my run to the gym, and then while I was at the gym, and I had a little bit of a different feeling. I do like the project. I do agree with what you guys have been saying as far as how Drake is kind of, I don't want to say stagnant. You probably can't use that word, but Drake does what Drake does, right? Like, I think it's almost kind of like how Migos is, right? For me. To me, Migos Culture 3 is a little bit like Culture 1 in a sense that it's jamming. It's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's just back to that jamming, what Migos does. We all know what Migos do.
Culture
I think that's the same.
Classic. Culture 1 is classic.
But yeah, I would say so as well. And I think that they get back to just what they do on Culture 3. With Drake, I think he's in the same lane with this from the standpoint of you know what you're going to get. And I think what really he suffers from is what is his real connection with people from the standpoint of content. I think that may be and I hate coming at artists for that because you rap about what you rap about, you do what you do, but there's no, okay, Tyler's album is really about growth and maturation and how you step outside of your comfort box and how he got there from traveling. Like that's conceptual and you know it and you getting that, right? Mm. What do you know, with these Drake albums, it's that, right? It's the same.
His issues with women. My team.
Yo, I was just telling Q that. Yo, I was just telling Q that. Where we came from, where we are now, right? it's
and girls.
Yeah. Yo, Drake been rapping for 10 years. I saw somebody said this on Twitter. It was like, yo, Drake been rapping for 10 years about his issues with his team. And they were like, yo, at some point, yo, Drake, did you ever think it could be you? Like that's basically what I'm like, yo, damn, that's a good way of looking at that.
And issues with women. I mean, at this point, with women. just go hire Hitch. You know, give this guy some advice. But you know, I mean, I think at the same time, I feel like at the end of the day, Drake gets the most expectations placed on him. Like sometimes unrealistic expectations.
That's where I was going, right?
You know.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What I was gonna say is that did I like Culture 3? I did. I've said many times, you know, this artist does what they do. This artist does what they do. There are artists. Drake is not going to be Kanye. Drake is not going to be Tyler. He's not going to be these artists that, you know, are, because those guys are like on some, I don't want to use the word weird, but those guys are really like artists. They are exactly. And Drake is not really that, you know. So as I listened to the album for a second time, I did like it more than I did the first time. And I liked a good amount of the material. I liked probably more than half of it. My standouts, I really am not liking what y'all talk. Look, me and Ooch living in the same place right now. I really don't like what y'all talking about regarding 7 a.m. on Bridal Path. I feel like if there was anybody else, people would give it its just due. I don't know why Drake does not. I don't know. I think because he light skinned. I don't know. He don't be getting that respect. He's rapping his ass off from a Royce and Black Thought level, as far as I'm concerned, on that song. Yes.
Hey, OT. I think you got. Hey, OT. I think I can see you on. I think I can see you on Bridal Path. You on Bridal Path. I think I see you, man.
Come pick me up.
You got the house next door, right? Oh yeah.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing for me with that song. I'm looking at it like that is, and maybe I shouldn't. I listen to the album with Drake ears. I listen to that song with Kanye ears.
Yep.
And I'm listening to it.
It's a lot of sneak dissing,
knowing that it's a diss. It's a diss.
But look at it from an art form standpoint, right?
And even
we talking about wordplay, we talking about rhyme scheme, we talking about metaphors, we talking about literally not wasting a bar. Entendres like throughout, it's unbelievable.
For sure. I mean, and even still, like listening to it, I could skip it.
Wow. All right, back to me, people. Back to me. All right, look. But no, to finish off, I really like Pipe Down. I really like Knife Talk. I really like In Too Deep, and I like the Remorse joint. But the Remorse joint is classic Drake, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
What was he saying on there? Like, it's fun to listen to Drake because he can rap. He can rap. The man can rap. I'm never gonna take that from him. But and I always looked to Drake for his last track because we know he gonna go in.
He didn't do that. I didn't like it. I didn't like Remorse.
I wasn't with Remorse either.
I didn't think it was special in that sense, but that's also coming off of listening to a whole project of what I thought was Drake that we've heard before. This sounds like a bunch of stuff that he's done before and just doesn't sound new. Like I'm thinking, you know, I mean, and I don't want to go there, but I'm just gonna say, when I listen to Donda, these are new sounds that I'm hearing. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing
Hey, yo,
Certified Lover Boy.
I
That's
think-
harder than Hurricane. That's
Hey, yo,
harder.
listen.
I agree.
I know y'all talked about Donda on y'all last episode.
No,
I get
Ooch,
it.
you know we're gonna do this. Just go ahead, man.
I get it.
Well,
And listen,
let
I
me-
don't. But before I get to Donda, because I think it's like we have to talk about it. Just briefly. I do want to hear because I heard Kamal and I heard OT's best songs. Q, what are your favorite songs from CLB?
Okay.
Like, and then
so
I'll
my
get
favorite-
mine.
My favorite song is Fair Trade is probably the best one in my opinion. Then Girls Want Girls. I think that's a hit. Certified
like
hit.
it.
That's a certified hit to me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought one that you guys didn't mention, TSU. I thought that was
That's my
actually
shit.
That's my
shit
shit.
right there.
Pretty
That's
good
mine
song.
right there.
That's my shit.
I think that's a
Yes,
pretty
sir.
good song. That's funny. None of y'all mentioned the one with Jay-Z. I thought Jay-Z actually killed his verse on that
I'm
track.
gonna mention that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I
I
like
thought
that too.
Jay-Z. You know what's funny about Jay-Z, real quick? Every single time he hops on a Drake song, he tries to sun him. You could just tell, right? Like he comes with this like anger, like he gets all combat. Jay-Z will talk about paying shooters and stuff like that, like on the song. Drake is all calm and chill.
Right.
But I thought that was a
Right,
pretty
right.
good song. I just want to say this point real quick. I just wanted to say,
Yeah.
I feel like Drake is kind of like restless with albums. Like he switches between sounds a lot, right? So like singing, blah, 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 blah. I really wished CLB was a concept album. Like
I thought it was gonna be.
I was like, please be a concept album where it's like, maybe like it's interludes where like he's going through like a situation with somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe you sacrifice a few songs just to like kind of make a point.
Yeah.
And once I found out it wasn't, I was just like, I think maybe that's my disappointment.
That would have
This
been
ain't
interesting.
certified lover boy at all.
This is
Right.
Yeah.
certified hit maker boy or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that would have been interesting. I agree. But
Drake
Drake ain't
over and
really
over
Drake
again.
is not that type of artist. I think we all know that, right? Like he's just not he's not a concept project type dude.
Certified watered down boy.
Jesus.
Nah. Hey, Drake is Drake. Hey, listen, I love Drake. Drake he's a legend. He's legendary.
All right. So here goes some of my favorites, right? So y'all talked about most of them, right? I like Girls Want Girls. That shit is it's dope. Like it's a groovy song. Like it's just groovy. That's the one where that and the song Way Too Sexy are groovy, right? However, I don't think that Way Too Sexy is that tight. Like I'm
It's
not
not.
really with the crowd. Like I
I'm
get
good.
it. The video is
Look,
fire.
They could
video's
have
fire.
They could have took Young Thug off, but other than that, it's a good song.
Yo,
But go
they
ahead.
could have for sure. Young Thug can get left off a lot of features. And that's my
great.
guy. That's my guy. But he got to stop with this. He got to stop
Yeah,
with the features,
He
man.
be mailing in feet. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the joint with Lil Durk and Giveon. I like in the Bible mostly because of like the flow switches, the especially when the song changed to Giveon's part. I really liked the dynamicness of that song. Fair Trade, of course. Travis Scott, man, he turned that joint up. Like he really transformed. Like it felt like a Travis Scott song. That's one of my favorites as well. Well, at least when it changed, it sounded like a Travis Scott song. TSU is the one that like got me really intrigued. I don't know what it is about when Drake just gets into he triples down on his whole Houston infatuation.
Yeah.
Like I'm intrigued by that
Triple down, for
perspective. I don't really know why, but because it's like he really taps into a different vulnerability. I guess that's probably what it is. And so I feel like he just really turns up, when he's getting into that. But I really like TSU. It just takes a little bit too long to start when Homeboy's talking. Who's the DJ? Who's that guy? Y'all know who I'm talking about?
It's one of the. I think it's like somebody that's important from that.
Was
area.
it the guy who died? DJ Screw? I'm not
could
sure.
have been. It could have been Watts.
Yeah,
It could have been, yeah.
I think it's supposed to sound like Screw. I believe.
Okay.
But
All
I'm
right.
not
Well,
sure who that was.
that's my only pet peeve, but it's not that serious. I like TSU though. In Too Deep is a nice little bop for sure. 7 a.m. on Brighter Path. I spoke enough about that. And then I don't know. I like the one with Cudi, man. I like it. I like the one with Cudi. I'm yet to figure out why I like that song. You don't like it?
No, I don't like it.
I think what it is I'm captivated at Kid Cudi's performance on that song. I think he did a great job.
He does not mail in
Really
features.
did a great job.
He does not mail in.
I told
Yeah.
That's exactly what I told Uch. I said Kid Cudi puts up amazing performances, but his
unbelievable.
his
dog.
songs don't be amazing, but like he puts up amazing performances.
We just had that combo too. Yeah, we did.
I just want to point that out.
So those are some of my favorites. If you will.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird that Kid Cudi was on Kanye and Drake's album.
And took them all.
Now that's a great segue because that's exactly why I want to pause.
And took them all. Yeah.
And that's a perfect segue.
You guys are professionals. Y'all are professionals, man.
Hey, so are y'all. He just set me up. He just gave me the
I knew what Jamal was trying to go to.
Alley-oop with the windmill dunk. Like, go ahead, man.
But
I see you.
The thing. So we're watching Drake and Kanye go back and forth, and there are lots of artists that are on both projects. Dirk, Thug, Jay. And allegedly I've heard that Jay's verse on CLB is directed at Kanye, but I don't have any solid facts on that. I don't know. But the one that confuses me the most, I mean, Travis is on both projects. The one that confuses me the most is Kid Cudi, because they had a Twitter back and forth beef, a while ago. And Cudi did have it out with Kanye for a while on Twitter as well, but they handled their stuff behind the scenes, and they're real friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, they've done many projects together.
So come
808,
on.
Kissy Ghost. Go ahead.
Do your thing, yeah. Interjection, go ahead.
I said this on Twitter. It's fake, man. Their beef is fake. It's so obviously fake.
And here's the thing.
Hella orchestrated. It's so orchestrated, fake. Bro. Everything just seems to line up, right? Like, it's so coincidental, right?
And it definitely feels that way, especially because of Cudi. But especially, I mean, these features, it's all weird. But then, the Cudi features just really confused me because of the beef. And so it's hard for me to even really get into that song. It's like, what's going on here? What's going on with them, man? Are they beefing for real or what's going on? But then on Drake's radio show, he leaked the song with 3 Stacks. You know, I
heard about that today.
Now, that's
today,
funny,
right?
that he released that.
You haven't listened?
I didn't hear the full song. I've heard pieces. The
full song is out on YouTube. It's out.
I'm gonna check it out.
But
it's better than both their projects.
I was gonna say it's the best song out of all the projects.
What the fuck is going on, man?
And I'm gonna just say this. Look, I'm gonna just say, like,
bro, what?
The thing about it is that Drake releases the song and it's got a diss about Drake on the song. So it's very funny. It's all funny.
But did you hear what he said too? Like, lyrically, he said, I squashed the beef between Kid Cudi and Drake. So somewhere in between, when Kid Cudi and Drake were beefing,
right,
Kanye stopped beefing with Drake and got them together, and then they started beefing again. Like,
it's weird. The
timeline don't even make sense.
But just the one line that I thought was interesting from the joint is Sci-Hi told me to my face that Sicko Mode was his biggest song. First of all, I didn't know Sci-Hi even wrote on Sicko Mode.
Oh, he wrote it.
So he writes a lot for Kanye. He is the guy.
But Sci-Hi
including that song. Including that song.
Sicko Mode. Sci-Hi wrote
Sicko Mode, no.
Trav. So he
sorry. And I meant for Travis. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I meant for Travis Scott as well. Yep.
Sci-Hi told me to my face that Sicko Mode was his biggest song. Well, gone, because Donda was the best ghostwriter I ever had. So now he got beef with Sci-Hi. Now he done with Sci-Hi. But I thought that was an interesting line, mainly because I didn't know Sci-Hi was, like, I like Sci-Hi.
Yo, Sci-Hi is
wrote.
Yo, listen. Let me tell you. Hey, let me tell you something real quick. I just want to interject, and we can get right back on this little, leaked song. Go listen to "No Dope on Sunday" by Sci-Hi the Prince.
Oh, come on,
bro. He is a god level MC. I've been saying this shit for years. Sci-Hi is an immaculate rapper. Like, that's just what I can say. Honestly,
I think
immaculate.
Only struggle with Sci-Hi, and I think the reason he's able to write these great songs, he just don't have the voice to me. He don't have the charisma.
He got a voice.
It's his tone. His tone is a bit off.
Not quite there. Like, and that's why I think he hasn't blown up yet. But
I like it, but
he works well with writing. That's why
I can deal with it.
Can I give you my look? I don't think that this beef is manufactured. I don't.
Okay.
I don't at all. The reason why is because I really think we're just fortunately and maybe unfortunately realizing how corny some of this shit really be.
It's real corny.
And I think it's also, when you look at the two artists that are in this whole beef or whatever, you're looking at two people who you never would have thought would have been at the top of the rap game. And they're very aware of that. And they're really both, I think, really fighting for that space. Kanye is even at the beginning, Kanye has always been anti, right? He's always been coming from the outside. They didn't want him. Like, Dane was like, I would throw the album out. Speaking about College Dropout and whatnot, like, he's always had this, I don't know what,
like a chip on his shoulder, if you will.
Underdog.
Like he's been like underdog, if you will.
You watching two underdogs who are fighting for this position. I don't think it's fake. I think you recognizing these two. Man, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. I'm not these two, not corny, but these two underdog, but they're at the top though. Whether you like it or not, rap was a street thing, right? Rap was something that came from the poverty and whatnot. And at the top of the game, you really do have two dudes that are like Drake was on the grass, G. You know what I'm saying? I think you're just recognizing how terribly corny some of this stuff can be sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Westside Gunn was on Saved by the Bell. I saw him on one of those episodes.
Was it?
Wait, what?
Oh, no.
What the hell are you talking about? Ain't no way.
I agree.
Ain't no way.
You know what I think it really is? Is like, I don't think they're beefing. You know how like some people can get into a fight? They like, hey man, let's play fight. But then it starts to get a little serious.
Yeah.
Like, they start to be like, yo, hey, I'm gonna hit you hard. And like, it starts to get a little like, okay, I'm a little offended. But this is supposed to be a game, but I'm a little offended. I think at the end of the day, they both have egos. And
that's what exactly.
In this fake beef,
they're longtime frenemies to me. Longtime
frenemies. They throwing little shots. Because even think about it, this happens to Drake a lot, right? Because Jay-Z and Drake had a little like frenemy type beef, taking shots at each other on songs, people taking offense to some of the shots being thrown. I think that's what's happening now. Only thing is Kanye is so loud, he can't like subtle. He can't do no sneak. But I do think it's weird because Kanye has had beef with so many people. He has never really like outright said like, yo, I don't like you. Or like he's done.
He don't be doing that. He does not
do it.
Right,
so it's weird that he's so upfront, like Drake, I put your house on Instagram. Like it's
which is hella corny. It's hella corny.
Got to be fake to me.
But here's the thing though. Even if because I do believe like I firmly believe it's orchestrated. Like like just some of the timing of it. Like Drake, he said a bunch of things. Like he said how like this has happened weeks ago. He was like, yo, I got 24 bars left on the album before I like turn it in. Kanye puts the address out, then Drake magically has, a response on his album specific. Like everything just seems to be they're playing off of each other. Now to OT's point, if you want to say like you believe it's real, we will never really know unless it gets completely exposed. So let's go with that. I think though that regardless of whether it's real or fake, what I think is a real key in this entire situation is I think this is a prime situation or prime example of when your idols become your rivals. Like Drake he's been openly idolizing Kanye from the beginning of his career. And so I can see how you will idolize this guy. You're like, oh my God, this guy's amazing, yada, yada, yada. And then you magically find yourself in a situation where you are even remotely compared, if not surpassed him in some people's eyes, I suppose, right? And how does Kanye feel about that?
Go ahead.
And then also Kanye has said openly, if is threatened by Drake. He said this in interviews. He said pre-Watch the Throne. He's like, yo, the only guy I feel threatened by is Drake.
That's why
I see the competition angle. I see it all. Like, but I do believe like when you start playing on these levels, like these dudes are, like they're at the top of music for real. Like in terms of the entertainment aspect, there's a lot of weird shit that I feel like can happen behind the scenes that we will never be privy to. I was
gonna say,
here's the thing.
like,
Only thing we will know. Well, let me ask this then. If this is real, there has to be an end game, and what is it?
I do believe that this is all real. Why you going? It just feels so petty. Just so like a lot of this is just little petty shots. You know what I'm saying? But a part of me feels like at the end of this, and I said this just yesterday, if they come out with an album together, that's gonna change the game, G.
What's what I was saying? Game? I said the same shit.
If this is manufactured,
that would be the real Watch the Throne. That's the Watch the Throne that I think would fuck shit up. It would literally change.
It would
completely.
But it's like all this is like it's corny though. Like all of this back, and you don't have to do that. I remember when Cam talked about Jim Jones hitting him, like, you know, they had like a little bit of beef for a minute, and Cam saying like, man, Jim hit me. He wanted like to have a fake beef. Like, why would we do that, man? Why would we have a fake beef? And that's what this kind of feel like, because, you know, I still feel like they are really at odds, because Drake, you know, when Kendrick dropped the Control joint, right? Or when Big Sean dropped Control and that whole thing happened, and all the artists that he named, you know, they kind of took it in stride. And it's like, he on his rap thing. Okay. You know, even the rappers that he didn't mention were offended that they didn't mention him, that they didn't get mentioned. You know what I'm saying? But Drake, I felt like, was the only one that took it really personally. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
he really did.
I'm done with him. I'm done. Why would he do that? Why would he feel like he needs to do that? I'm done. And it's like, bro, you taking it's rap, bro. Just say something back and let it be done. Like, it ain't nothing. This ain't nothing.
Yo, like, it's Drake, my guy. That's why he's an emotional guy. Like, it's clear. It's as clear as day that Drake is an emotional guy, right?
And that
explains why he would be in his feelings like that, I feel like.
And so that's what I'm saying. So even with Kanye, I feel like it's a real thing. Like, he might really feel offended. Like, the thing that he's saying, you know, the interview he had with LeBron and Maverick, you know what I'm saying? And how he mentioned, you know, he put the poopity scoop on the joint that was supposed to be mine. He was offended. Now, rightfully so. He was offended, rightfully so. But at the same time, hit the man up. Call Kanye. Why you do that, bro? I thought this was my song.
And they are doing that.
But he be in his feelings.
I guarantee you they are doing that. Like, they are talking to each other. Like, it's 100%. I mean, think about like one of the greatest hip hop beefs of all time, Jay-Z, Biggie, right? So many stories coming out where Nas is like, who was also involved, I ran into Pac, you know, at this time, you know, Puff saying I ran into Pac, we ran into his people, blah, 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 blah. Like, they're talking, they're running into each other. You know, so like, to me, I guarantee you Kanye has talked to Drake in between these last 2-3 weeks.
Of course,
on the phone, text, whatever. Hey man, it's no disrespect, blah 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 blah.
Of course.
To me, it just seems like a show to me, and I'm not falling for it.
That's my point. Is there an end game? What's the end game then? What is the point of it all?
I think they might.
Drake sold 625K in his first week. You know, I swear, I went to my parents' house yesterday. You know, my dad brought up the beef. He said, yeah. Nigerian 60-year-old guy said, oh yeah, Drake and Kanye are beefing. Did you know that? I said, how do you know this?
Drake
means
going
this
up.
is-
Drake
this
is
is on-
up right now.
That means this is on
Yeah.
CNN. They are reporting this on CNN. Jim Acosta has this.
Bro.
Drake is winning the West Coast.
That is awesome.
Wow. Yo, no, seriously. No, seriously. How did he know about that? How did he know about that, bro? Like, for real.
He had to have been watching 60 Minutes. They had it on
That's
60 Minutes.
crazy,
or something like that.
man.
60 minutes? That's wild.
Is that big? Is that big?
That's wild.
Nah, I don't know where you saw it.
Any last thoughts before we move? Before we go to Westside Gunn. Any last thoughts before we go
man.
to Westside? Anybody?
Oh,
okay. I got.
We didn't do a deep dive of Donda. Oh, we're
Well,
not doing Donda today.
Nah, they already did Donda. Nah, I don't.
I want a refund.
Listen.
I'm about to go ham on Off the Grid.
Yeah, wait.
There's no song on CLB like Off the Grid.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Somebody said something was song of the year or some shit like that.
Yo, let me tell you something.
It was that guy.
Let me tell you something. Man.
Hurricane before Off the
Donda.
Grid. Like Off the Grid.
First and foremost, I want to say, hold on. Q, you pointing out, you down there for me. But anyway, first off, I just want to put this. I want to put this out just to make this very clear. I know this is not a compare. You opened this up, come on. You was like, yo, man, listen, I don't want to make this about Donda versus CLB. Yeah, Donda is better than CLB. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't care who's hurt. I'm saying that objectively, honestly, musically speaking, there's more bangers, there's more depth, there's more everything, in my opinion. There's just more everything, right? Yeah. Now, Donda was much longer, but nonetheless, I think it's a better project. Now, let's get that out the way. Secondly, Off the Grid and Hurricane are by far, to me, the most like impactful joints that I've heard this year. Like, I'm sorry.
Don't you do that. You said Off the Grid. You didn't say Hurricane. Okay. All right, go ahead now.
Off the Grid is number one for me, for sure. As far as rap. Well, no, I mean, so
Hurricane's crazy.
Hurricane is nuts, but I think Off the Grid, as far as a rap song, that's the song of the year for me. I'm gonna be very specific. Now, listen, Twitter and Instagram it's hard to type out characters. You don't always elaborate as much as you probably want to. But if we talking about rap, that's the song of the year for me. Off the Grid. I say what I said.
Yeah.
Okay.
A good joint.
So you haven't heard that Lil Baby and Dirk joint? You didn't hear that one?
What? Which one?
The Lil Baby and Dirk joint. Was that 20?
The whole album?
No. The song on DJ Khaled joint. Every Chance I Get. You didn't hear that song?
Of course I heard that. Yeah, 1,000.
You don't think that's one?
What are you insinuating? Can say what you gotta say, man.
That might possibly be. I know how you feel about the song, but gee, like, come on, man. Like that song, if you play play both of them anywhere. How?
I forgot about
it. It's everywhere, and it was everywhere.
Oh,
I mean, I saw more.
Listen, 5 of your
baby went.
Yo, listen, 5 of your snapped like beyond belief. Look, Kanye West snapped the amount of like, okay, so I get it. It's a drill beat. So I think a lot of people probably won't either you want to appreciate the beat, right? There's a lot of people who don't appreciate drill, right? I'm not a drill enthusiast, but what I will say is what that beat did and how it kind of morphed, especially when Fabio came on and Kanye followed up. I'm like, bro, this song is like extremely powerful as far as rapping is concerned.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, that's the hardest rap song I've heard this year. It's the hardest. Yeah. It's the hardest.
Okay, that's fair. It's cool.
Just saying.
I respectfully disagree, but
and that's cool. And that's cool.
I do agree with Donda being better than CLB. I think
it is for sure.
It was a little more. You know what really hurts Donda? He didn't have to make it 26 tracks. If he would have made it like 13, 14, it would have been album of the year nominee. Just take those best. I thought there was too many watered down songs like towards the end, but I mean, it's the art that to me solidified Kanye as one of the best hip hop musicians of all time. Like,
I think that
production.
Yeah. I think Certified Lover Boy is better cohesively. It's cohesive because it's cohesive.
That one.
I think Donda definitely is more of a event.
Bro, jail? Jail?
Well said.
More of an
Well
event.
said.
It's
Hey,
Well
hey,
said.
hey, listen, Kanye definitely got the better of the whole verses. I'm sorry, that jail verse, the
Oh,
jail
yeah.
verse was
It's
crazy.
fantastic.
Crazy.
Can I do another segue? Can I do another
Yeah.
segue? So I got a good question for y'all. Do you think that the best hip hop albums are the ones that are being orchestrated? Like, for instance, I think Kanye Donda, what he does really well is he plays a curator, like orchestrator. He puts people in positions to succeed. The segue I'm trying to do is I think Westside Gunn does that also.
Damn, listen.
He does
Hey,
it fantastic.
you're smart. Yes. Because Makami Pray for Haiti is still number 2. And I think Westside has something to do with that.
Okay, so stop. Wait. Now we're talking about we off that, right? Now we talking about Westside Gunn, right?
Yes,
Let me go first.
Go ahead,
Can I go first? All right. So Hitler Wears Hermes 8. Sincerely, Adolf. This album is creeping up right now. My top 5 is scared, G. My top 5 numbers 4 and 5 right now, their asses might be out of here. Like, Westside Gunn, from the standpoint, as QD was saying, from the standpoint of a curator of an album, is maybe the most underrated. Or who else is curating albums out here that are not their own? Is anybody else doing that right now? Like Westside is?
Man.
Did he not curate Bodie James's album as well? Did he do it? Did he have anything to do with that? The Alchemist
Not the
joint?
Alchemist joint. Not
No?
the Alchemist joint.
The other one, right? The
Versace tape.
Okay.
Versace tape.
Which was good too as well. But yeah,
He did Tyler the Creator too. He was one of the executive producers I heard
bro,
of Tyler the Creator's project.
Wow.
Really? I didn't know that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it short.
You sure you ain't pulled that out of your ass, Q? You sure?
It was either
Because
That's
that's
a-
an odd
It was-
little.
That's very
little couple
odd.
right there.
Tyler's
Go
good
take a look.
curation.
it was
It
either West Side Gun or West Side Boogie. One of them two. One of them West Side people. No,
Look.
I'm pretty sure it's West Side Gun.
The thing about it is that they do rock though. They do rock together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, my thing about this album, man, is that this is the most. So some albums remind you of a certain era, but it's too much of that era. Like it's still not progressive enough. This album to me sounds like that Woo Mob Deep gutter New York. Something bad is gonna happen to you. Like, yo, like bad things are happening out here. People like there's robberies, there's shootings. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
It sounds dangerous. It's dangerous.
Bro, it sounds
in the words of Beanie Siegel on the Breakfast Club. It's dangerous.
it sounds
Dangerous.
beautifully
Yeah.
dangerous to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yes, sir.
very cohesive. Stove God Cooks is shining on this joint.
Stove
God is shining.
Stove God.
Yeah, that
Yo.
dude is nice as hell, man.
Stove God is
What?
nice as hell.
But he still
Nice as
sounded.
hell.
He
After
still
the
sounded gutter as hell.
That's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
god, bro.
That's a bar.
Look, Mariota is good. Vogue cover, fire.
Oak.
Draymond. It's what you do after the brick, bitch. I'm Draymond. Stop playing, dog.
Oh yeah.
Perry,
oh, yeah.
Perry. The Westenheimer joint with Bodie.
That
Lil
yo,
Wayne
hey,
got
yo,
on.
hey, listen. Hey, yo, that way. Hey,
The Westenheimer joint with Sauce Walker.
Sauce Walker went. Yo, I swear to God, I was listening. Hey, I was at Jiffy Lube, right? I was, getting some air in my tires, getting an oil change or whatever, right? Bro, I zoned out when Sauce Walker started rapping. I was like, yo,
Ooh-wee.
rapping.
I'm like, hold on, like the way his slang, the Texas slang over that type of production was
Bro.
like magical.
You see what
Magical.
I'm saying? That
Yeah.
listen, this album, I don't know right now.
In a position to win.
Yeah.
In a position to win. Shout out Q, man. In a position to win. Like a lot of people have not heard of Sauce Walker, man. And after that verse, people gonna be like, who is dude?
Yo, I
A lot
never
of
even
people-
gave his music a chance, I swear. But I definitely did not think that based on like the one song that I barely heard and how he looked and how his swag was,
Yes.
I
yes.
definitely would never hear him over what I heard him on.
Hey,
With Westminster. So
And
that was
he's-
crazy.
and he's rapping. I'm gonna just say this again, and I'm gonna kick it to one of y'all. This album is climbing, man. Right now, my best album of the year is Tyler. Right, second is Makami. Third, when I did our top 5, I think I said Culture 3. I think, but
I ain't been back to Culture 3 in a while.
I don't go back. I mean, yeah. But look, this album I keep look. So my listening style, man, I really try not to put expectations on albums. And I try to let the music make me go back to it. I don't really go back to albums because I try to listen to albums as Otis, right? Like I try not to listen as OT, who know he got to give his opinion, which is hard to do. I try to be objective. I try to let the music bring me back. This album makes me want to go back to it the same way Tyler's did, the same way Culture 3 was when it first dropped. So this album may be there for me at the end of the year, man, for real.
Yo, hey, if you guys don't mind, I would like to go next because I'm sure y'all have more more to say than I do. Look, man, I tell Q this all the time, and you know, it's something that I know everybody does, but I don't know how like intentional they are about it. Like when I'm listening to new music, man, I legitimately, in my mind, I'm like, yo, how quickly am I gonna press save? I use Spotify, right? So there's a little heart feature, right? You can like the song, put the joint in your playlist. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, some songs, it takes 5 seconds. I just need to hear the beat. I'm like, nah, there's something about this beat. It's giving me a feeling I want to hear it again, right? Some songs I could listen to it straight through and never want to save it, never want to come back to it. I say, man, I probably put about half this project in my library, like off first listen. Like it did not take long at all. Like, yeah, man. And really, I would say towards the middle to end of the album is really when it started to set in for me that, you know, the way this album was crafted was extremely good.
Curation, man. Yeah.
Dude, that song called Claire's Back, bro. Like when Westside Gunn was talking this shit in the middle of the song, talking about like, yo, this girl asked me if I was a million, and he was like, yo, bitch. Excuse my language. He's like, yo, hey, bitch. Like just the way he was talking this shit, and then it transitioned into, you know, Conway and Benny's. I was like, yo, this is masterful. This is masterful, you know, and so. Claire's Back. I even like Wayne's verse. I do. I even like, yo, hey, and I heard that song in the car, bro. The bass.
Why are you saying it that
way?
Way
that shit was, huh?
Why are you saying it that way?
Like what?
Or like I even liked the Wayne's
like
verse.
He
like it was like he
yo,
like you.
Yo, listen.
Right.
Come on, man. Listen. Let's be honest, man. Like we know what Wayne does historically, but like
here we go.
Wayne is a hit or a miss. Like maybe not more recently. Because I remember, hold on, Q. Remember on the podcast about last year. Remember when I told you when he remixed, he was on the remix of What's Poppin', right? With Jack Harlow. I told you on that show, bro, this is the first Wayne verse in a long time where I was like, yo, this guy is like really, really snapping. And since that time, I felt like Wayne has really had this different type of energy. But we can't act like years before that he was kind of like, do I really want to hear Wayne? Not really.
Hey, do they have Spotify on Bridal Path? Do they have speakers in this Bridal Path that you're saying?
Yo, listen.
Because
you know I'm speaking facts. What do you disagree about that? What do you disagree about that?
Did you? He brought out about what 2 mixtapes in between, like whenever you're talking about.
Yeah, funeral.
Nah, he had Funeral, and then he had a was it No Sellings? I want to say another No Sellings.
Yeah,
I know that there's the first one sucked, right?
You was checking for it. You was checking for it.
Little twist and all the people. No, I was checking. Of course, it's Lil Wayne. So
we're gonna check for Lil Wayne, but what I'm saying is like impact wise, did it really grab you? Was Wayne really doing what you expect Wayne to do? That's the question, man.
His rapping was pretty good. His rapping was good. But
it was
just like okay.
It was all right. My opinion. My
big problem is you didn't preface your comments. I said you gotta prep if you're gonna be.
I don't got it. Yo, check this out. I don't. yo, listen. Hey, check this out. I don't have to do that. you do that. I don't have to do anything, my G. What are you talking about? Wayne is respected. It's obvious, but no. My point is, I like that song. So anyway, I really like this project though. I really like this project. One thing I do want to know though, and maybe you guys can educate me, is like, what's up with this like Hitler wears Hermes? I'm still trying to understand the concept. It's not really grabbing me. Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, he really don't even have to call it that. It's not like this sounds different from his other projects that he curates in this way. I'm not really sure why he's calling it that, but he's been doing that for a while, and I've only been on Westside since maybe Hitler wear Hermes like 7, maybe.
Okay.
6, maybe.
All right.
But I mean, because the other ones aren't even available you might have to go to that Piff or something. You know,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm really curious about that because that's like it's so left field. It's almost like he's daring you to be offended, right?
Yeah.
But it's like he's daring. He's like,
yo.
yo, come on, be offended, but then listen to the music and you're gonna be blown away, if you will. That's
so
kind of how I take it.
Sincerely Adolf. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. Right.
You don't want to ever glorify Hitler. Like,
that's pretty strange.
And it's offensive, but it's like, so is Westside. You know what I'm saying? Like Westside, you know what I'm saying? Yo, this is $1 million. What? You know what I'm saying? That all of that, he does that in all of his releases. You know what I'm saying? That type of talk, just brash, offensive talk. Even like I thought it was funny on Donda, where like his first line is, I flushed the work before they raided me. Thank God. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so
like
funny.
he was the only, like one of the only dudes that had like a hard ass verse on Donda. Like I'm talking, he didn't get the memo. Like this is a gospel album. Like this is an album that God is going to listen to.
Right.
Stop talking about drugs.
Look,
hey Q. No, but he
raided.
But he said, "Thank God." See, everything he said before that is forgiven because he said, "Thank God."
Look,
all right,
God,
that's where you're going with that.
Rolled his eyes at that line. I said, "Man,
I was chasing 15, but I beat it.
Listen, I think he's one of the most important people in hip hop right now. To be honest with you,
I agree with that.
Wow, I like that statement a lot. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say it quick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sorry, my bad. I was just gonna give my little quick review. So I've always rocked with Westside Gunn. I think he sounds very wacky, right? So Ooch, I'm gonna give Ooch credit. He said, "Yo, like Westside Gunn makes the best projects out of Griselda to me," and I'm like, Benny the Butcher has some good projects. Like Conway has some good projects. But then I'm thinking about like what Westside Gunn brings to the table. I'm like, yo, this is like some next level. Like, what the hell did I just listen to? Type.
What is it? Yeah.
But I do want to say this. I have a newfound appreciation for Westside Gunn as a rapper. I agree. We talked about this, me and Ooch. I was like, dog, is he good? Like, I wouldn't necessarily call him a good at the time. I actually listened to some of his bars. I'm like, yo, like he is kind of appealing. It's just that you just get confused by all the and all that stuff. So
hard to get lost.
But it's like he actually puts up really good performances on his albums, but in doses. So like you don't get like full out verses from him. It's like chopped up a little bit. But like the thing that's cool about him, he knows when to stop rapping. He knows when to pass the baton. He knows when, to hit you with like a little, like I thought it was really dope. I think it was a Vogue cover where it just switches to the R&B sample.
The Gerald LeBert.
Yeah, I was like, that's
so
genius.
Funny.
It's genius. So I'm like, he's probably one of the best rappers to like know his lane and know how to insert himself on songs. Like I don't think people, and going back, this is my last insult at Drake. I think that's what Drake doesn't do. Like Drake, as good as Drake is a rapper, he doesn't do that. He doesn't know when to stop, in my opinion. And it's hard. I think Westside Gunn is at the highest level of that. And most artists, I don't think, understand that. But I think you got to be like really have a good gauge of what you're doing musically to be able to do that. Kanye does it too.
Very important.
Does it too.
These are artists. I would say Westside is an artist. That's the thing. We're talking about artists, right? We're talking about those guys that are really trying to create something. You know what I'm saying? Like Ye, correct. Tyler. That's why Westside is that guy for Griselda. He's the guy that's like behind, like do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? From the standpoint of guys' albums and whatnot. Like he knows how to put it together. So yeah.
Conductor, I'm gonna say this. I like West Project. He was always at the bottom for me as far as Griselda is concerned. Like I came into Griselda through Conway, but then I heard Benny the Butcher. I'm like, oh my God, Benny.
Oh, he's the rapper.
And he's Jay-Z of the
my God, he's
I came in through Benny. And then I started having respect for the other ones, like, yo, whoa, Conway, whoa.
Conway got it though. Conway got it.
Then
But
they introduced
Benny-
us to all these other people: Bodie James, Makami,
what's his name?
Top is now.
Yo, what's Benny's man? What's Benny's guy? Benny got a dude he been working with a lot. What's his? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Rick Hyde. Rick Hyde is dope.
Yeah.
Rick Hyde is
Rick
dope.
Hyde is good. Rick Hyde is good.
They even got a woman
Listen.
too. What's the woman? What's her name?
Oh, she should. We shot her out on the show. Seven the Genius, right? Seven
Nah,
something.
not her.
Nah, there's another one. There's another one.
Westside,
Little
She
more
remind me of
sexier.
Foxy Brown. Yeah,
Armani Caesar.
Yeah, there you go.
She had
There you go.
listen. They on some real Bane Dark Knight shit.
She had a
G.
good album too. Her album was good.
They
Another
remind
one
me of
that
Bane.
was curated by Westside. But that's the thing I want to say though. Westside always got lost to me because he had the do on all of his verses, and I didn't know what he was talking about, and I never really paid attention. The first time I really felt like, yo, he kind of got off, and this might be crazy, was from DMX's album. And when I heard Wes's verse on there, I'm like, this man is rapping. This man is rapping. And it was real like high level luxury rap type stuff that he was spitting.
Extravagant.
I'm like, yo, he was on his like Pusha T luxury type. But you know what? Okay, this man is rapping. But I always knew, and this is after Pray for Paris. And I thought Pray for Paris was on my top 5 for whatever year that came out.
Last year, #1 for me. Sorry.
And
That was
so
last year, yeah.
And so I'm like, I mean, I always thought he was a good curator. I always saw him as the ASAP Yams of Griselda. You know what I'm saying? He's putting the pieces together. He's saying, yo, he's an interesting character as far as curation is concerned and a label head because he's also getting with artists, which we've talked about, OT. He's getting with artists for one project just to curate that one project.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did with Makami. Now, Makami might be on Griselda now, but he did that. Like the latest Bodie James project is not
Fire.
Griselda.
Did y'all hear that?
I ain't got to it yet, but I'm gonna check it out though.
That's a
I'm
straight
checking that out.
That's an Alchemist joint, but
Fully Alchemist produced. Fire.
But
go ahead,
he's
come on.
working
definitely
with
checking that out.
artists for one project to give them that Griselda sound, and which I think is very interesting. That like he's got contracts with like just one artist, and he's got the Larry June project coming up, which I'm very excited about because I checked for Larry June.
Shout-town.
I know, yeah, Larry Jones.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Larry Jones is Chi-Town currency.
But
That's a good analogy. Good.
Larry June is Cali. Larry June is Cali.
He's not shy at all. He has no roots here at all.
Wait, what?
Maybe, but that's Cali.
I feel like a lot of people in Chicago rock with him for whatever reason. So yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, the orange is numbers, you know what I'm saying? Very Dom Kennedy-esque, but what's up? Go ahead.
Yeah, he raised his hand. Go ahead.
So can I ask you guys something? Because let's I'm
kicking it. Let's do it. Yeah.
So would you consider it good music? Like, I mean, so on Westside Gunn's project, not Pray for Paris, but Hitler Wears Hermes. So I like the music because I like gritty New York, just gutter, like drug talk, whatever. But is it just because we like that type of stuff? Do you think that this translates well? Like, do you think people appreciate it that are not on that?
Of course
like,
not.
Can the commercial? So, like,
course
what
not.
do you say? Like, how do you grade that? You know?
In my opinion, I feel like first and foremost, let's put the name aside. That name will never work commercially, right? But let's just put that aside. We talking about the music, right? I think it's too subgenre-esque for hip hop, right? Like, then that's not a knock because everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses and whatever, they make music. That's not a sound that I think translates commercially and really like extends its way out of really just the people who really rock with that type of music, right? It's just not like you can appreciate the musicality of it, the production quality, the composition of the music. That right there, you don't have to be a rap head at all to really like listen to that and be like, nah, like the way they put together the album is great, but from an appeal standpoint, and I think that's what you're talking about, Q. Like, I don't think that this music is appealing beyond, I would say, the hip hop community. I just don't. I don't know. And I don't think that they even have to go that route. That it doesn't even seem like that's what they're trying to do, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that this kind of music, to QD's point, like if you're asking, you know, what's the appeal to it? Can it go beyond this? It's not that space for that now. This isn't 95 with Wu-Tang. Like if you really think about Wu-Tang and what they were doing in their era, their stuff sounded like this. It was very outside the box and whatnot. Like it didn't sound like anything that was happening at that point. But what I will say is this, man. I don't be caring, because here's the thing. People are mad right now at me, or not mad at me. People be like, how you got Culture 3 in your top 5? Because they some real hip hop ass niggas, right? Like they on that. And then there are people who, if y'all watched our last show, shout out to Afro Beer Chick, she said Donda was trash, like trash, right? So some people just not gonna rock with certain things. You know, some people are not gonna rock with that whole. Some people don't want to hear about, like, get Jesus out of here, G. We don't want to hear. We don't want to hear, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think that what's gonna happen, what's gonna continue to happen, when Kamal was talking, I compared what they're doing to. I'm a comic guy somewhat. I really like the Batman joint. You know, Dark Knight, Bane. I feel like they on some Bane shit. Like Bane was working his whole time underground, you know what I'm saying? To try to, you know, take over what Gotham had. Like people really are taking and paying attention to what Griselda's doing. They're continuously building this real cult following as to where people are really paying attention to it. I don't know if they can really, to your point, like go bigger than where they are. But they got a shot. You know what I'm saying? If they can, if whatever they doing, I don't know what they doing, but it's
impressive.
It's hella impressive.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hella impressive.
I think it's like, you know,
hella impressive.
For me, the reason I really bring that up is because I do find myself, like, I'm a, you know, with Ratings Game Music, check it out. Nice website, got a lot of album reviews and stuff like that. I go through so many album reviews, and a lot of times I give people passes. Like, I feel like going into Griselda's albums, I just press play and I'm like, I got that dark doom type beat, you know, and I automatically give you an A. But I'm not really taking the time to actually dissect everything and saying, like, is this actually, like, you know, great? Well, so, like Drake, we dissect every little thing Drake does, and it's like, are they getting a pass? You know what I mean?
No.
Well, go ahead, because
this is the thing. This is the thing. It's all about what you feel. And this is what I said earlier. I'm in a space, man. The gym and my runs are my best places to listen to music, because I'm not listening like I have a podcast to do. I'm really rocking based upon whatever I'm just feeling. And if the music is making you feel a certain kind of way, I think that is the music and its expression in the truest form, right? Because you're not really, we all do this and we want to try to judge stuff and, you know, get it all right, but with how much subjectivity is within it, what are we doing? Like, at the end of the day, it's very hard to be objective. I think when you listen to them joints and you like you just said, if it's really making you feel a certain kind of way, maybe it is that good, because it is evoking whatever it's evoking in you, you know, for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a really good point. And then for me, some days, like, listen, I'm sure just like y'all and a lot of people listening, right? Like, depending on the day, depending on the mood, you have different things that will different types of music that will satisfy that, right? Like for me, I appreciate the Kid Leroy's music a lot, right? And I know this is like complete opposite from what Griselda is doing, right?
Yeah.
But my point is, just because the music is significantly different in the tone, the intention, the musicality, just because it's different doesn't mean that I appreciate one less or greater than the other. Now, if we having a conversation about you want me to objectively start ranking projects, now I have to like put a different hat on. But if you're just asking me what music do I actually like, yo, I like Doja Cat some days. Yo, I like her project. I'll go listen to Conway one day. I'll go listen to, really anybody, right? Like if you look at my library, it's very diverse. But the point I'm actually making is sort of it's sort of supporting your point, OT. And it's like, while we can have different settings for different types of music, right? That's all fair. But I do think though, like when we do start having these conversations, when we're asked what music is better than what, or like what music do you actually think has a chance to maybe hit more ears, then we got to start having a different perspective. We got to actually wear a different hat. Like we got to approach the music differently. Because it's not always about whether or not I like a song a lot, and that means that I think people are gonna like it, right? Like you got to wear, and that's like the job of an A&R. That's the job of a Westside Gunn, right? He's really looking at it from like, okay, what do I think people are probably gonna like? It's a difficult job because you have to remove your personal feelings a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I think that Westside and Griselda will never be where Kanye and Drake are, because he curates music and he curates his projects for his fans, and he's given a certain sound for his fans, like a lot of the artists that are on his projects do. Boldy, Freddie Gibbs,
bro, Stove Cook got
Stove
Cook, yeah.
Stove God
Cook.
Cook.
Stove God Cook. Sorry, yeah, he's a guy who's clearly very talented. Like I actually heard a couple people last year say his project was the best of the year. It wasn't like a very loud.
To it the other day.
It wasn't a lot of people saying that, but I did hear some people, and I'm like, wait, what? I missed that.
Bruh.
But clearly, there's people who feel certain types of ways, and they gravitate more towards certain type of music, right? It's always gonna be like that.
He kind of sounds like Kendrick a little bit, right? Like just a little bit. A little bit,
and I would
slightly.
Say earlier, he
you know what I mean?
Has that
like Section 80, like he got like Section 80 Kendrick to me. Like it's like not the Kendrick that we hear today, if you will.
Yeah, but see the thing about Westside has chosen a position. He's got positioning going on as far as the game's concerned. If he wanted to curate something that was more pop, maybe he would, try his hand at that lane and might do something with that. But, Drake, Kanye, Jay-Z, who is probably the most successful drug dealer turned rapper, you know what I'm saying? He has shot at the pop charts, you know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, he's curating music for the charts. And he's curating music to be at a certain level. I mean, Blueprint 3 is straight stadium music.
Yeah, it was the point of it, to make stadium music.
It's straight stadium music. Watch the Throne, two artists who are super pop.
Straight touring music.
They can talk, they can do niggas in Paris, but it's still, they're positioned in pop music.
Hey, yo, listen, I was going to throw this in here. The extent of pop that you ever see Griselda reach is Conway wearing an Alexander Wang dress, like skirt. You remember that? That's Griselda. Conway wore a Alexander Wang kilt. That is them attempting to go pop. Bro, that just happened. It just happened like a month ago. 2 months ago, probably.
That's not Benny the Butcher's album is very not pop, but like it's very commercial. Like
the
last one with Hit Boy.
That's because of Hit Boy.
Yes.
Hit Boy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Correct.
So like,
that's right.
I think Benny wants to be Jay-Z. I think Benny wants to.
I can see that. I can see.
Conway to a certain extent too. Conway is hopping on like all kinds of artists.
I can see that.
So it's really Westside Gunn that's and the reason I brought that up is because I was like, to your point, Kamal, like boom, 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 da, 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 da. Like, is that good music? I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm like,
and I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? Like, are we like just kind of like trying to love the whole drug dealing sound because we think that like that's cool music? But like, if we actually take the time to think about it, like, is this actually like listenable music? Like at certain points,
The
you know what I
thing
mean?
For me, yeah, because I'm a that's
Right.
and maybe
That's the
and maybe
thing.
it's some
Me too,
ageism
me
stuff
too,
happening.
me
You know
too.
what I'm
Me too.
saying?
I love it. I
Me
love
too.
it.
I love it. I love it.
In certain settings, in
I
certain
love it.
settings, right? In specific settings, right? Like I can see myself listening.
But can you? Hey, but Ooch, can you?
But
can
most,
you,
but most
Ooch,
settings, absolutely
Ooch,
not.
If I
Not doing
played
it.
that right now for wifey, hey,
Bro.
Westside Gunn had the album of the year. Play it. She's here. I was
Yo,
cooking
fam.
up in the kitchen.
But here's
Like,
the
you
thing,
like, what am I
She
listening to?
she be looking at you like, bro, have you lost your mind? Like, what are
Here's
you
the
doing?
thing, though. That what I was saying earlier, right? I think that speaks more so to how hip hop has changed so much. Because in the '90s, again, Wu-Tang was a global phenomenon, and Raekwon and Ghost, it was all drug talk.
Right.
Icons. The icons.
Yeah, like so right now, hell no. My wife would be like, but hey, my kids know what's up with Benny and Westside. I'm maybe a bad parent. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, man,
Like,
no.
they're like,
You change-
Daddy,
Yo,
Daddy is cartoons. It's Tom
Bro.
and Jerry.
Bro changed you changed your child's pamper live on the podcast. You already won daddy of the year, damn it, in your household.
Yeah.
You good.
Of
You
course.
good.
I mean, but Q, we're talking about two different things here. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about mainstream pop music, and we're talking about a niche
Yeah.
artist. You know,
It's definitely niche.
Yeah,
it's definitely
yeah, it's
it
very
has its
Hella niche.
you know.
It's a whole
But
sub
the thing
genre.
is-
It's a
but-
whole
but-
different genre.
so
Let me
is
ask
it
you this.
good? Is it good music? Yes, it is. We all agree that he has a good album. Is it good on the wider scale of pop music? Is it doing Billboard numbers and things like
probably.
that? Probably never.
But let's not even hold on. But let's not even throw in like the pop label. I think that's kind of like an
And
out.
that's no
Like,
diss.
if we just start throwing that word out, but let's just talk about
I'm
other
saying
aspects.
mainstream.
Let's just talk about hip hop, like mainstream hip hop. Let's just talk about that. If you put up Westside's album versus more mainstream hip hop, is it better than that? Right? Like, like I would actually say Tyler's album is mainstream hip hop. Yeah, I would, even though it has elements of like the sub genre, like the West Side, it has elements there. For the most part, it appeals, I would say, well beyond like
I agree.
the niches that we're talking about here. It
I
does.
agree.
I would say
also-
it does, but I think he has, to his point, longer legs. I think he's been in it so long, right? As to where he can't look. Good point here. He came in at a time when what they were doing with the whole Odd Future Wolfgang, they were so exciting to 13, 14, 15-year-olds who was like, yo, what is this crazy? These motherfuckers is, eating cockroaches. Like, what is happening? You know what I'm saying? But if you really listen to that album, some songs, but I mean, my man's got so much different vibes and whatnot that probably that's another point, right? Like people, I say that's my number one album of the year. Bro, what? Tyler the Creator? Get your ass out. You know what I'm saying? Like some people ain't even accepting that, and this man just headline Lala. Like,
Bro, they don't respect it. They don't respect Tyler. They don't respect him.
And
That's what it is.
And
that's how I feel about Drake. There's certain people who just don't respect Drake.
They
They don't respect his bars. They don't respect certain things. They don't respect the way he
he's
looks.
back on Bridal Street. He trying to go back.
I'm
to
on Bridal. Hey,
He's
yo,
been
listen,
on
it's
Bridal
one-
Street. He's been on Bridal Street.
Yo, this time is 1
Bridal
a.m.
pad.
This time is 1 a.m. It ain't 7 a.m. man. No, it ain't 7 a.m. We on a different time.
But I
Same
mean, that's
street,
my
though.
point. I mean, I don't want to keep.
No, you
beating the
good.
horse. But that's my point. Like, is it that like you hear Tyler the Creator for a lot of people and they just say, "Oh, it's Tyler the Creator. I don't really care what he does. It doesn't matter. I'm going to critique him." But then we hear Westside Gunn, we just automatically assume like, "Oh, it's Westside Gunn. It must be good," even though there's moments where, let's be honest, it's weird. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
But like I think a lot of
stuff I
times
don't
they
like.
get, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times he gets passes. A lot of times these artists get passes because they're gutter, because
Speak
they're
on it.
street. You know what I mean? But Drake, Drake put up fantastic rap performances, and yet people are still like, yo, it's
That's actually we might have to come back and discuss that. That's a whole other topic. Like we actually don't critically analyze and critique the Griseldas of the world versus the people who are more mainstream. We don't analyze them. Well,
that's the thing. You have to find true fans to do that because
that's true.
Actually,
I know you exactly.
Facts,
Who made the sunshine? No, we that was okay. Fly God is an awesome God. So if you listen to we've only really mentioned Pray for Paris, and he's dropped, a lot of different. But I think that this one is his best.
Noteworthy. It's noteworthy.
I think it's his best.
Okay.
So, I think it's his best.
But to your point, there are people. To your point, there are people who don't. Hey, Cutie, good point. Good point. There are people who don't like a Drake, right? Because they really want their old school shit, right? So they'll automatically say, like a Westside and what they do, oh, this that real shit, right? And they won't even give, like a Drake a real listen or a Tyler because it's just too. That's that weird stuff, man. He talking about guys. I don't want to hear that. Excuse me, people. I'm not homophobic at all, but I don't want to hear that gay shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their stance on it. So, but anything Westside puts out, they will really, really like because he's stabbing people on his album or something. You know what I'm saying?
I think that you know what I mean?
It's that real rap.
That does exist for sure. Yeah.
But I think it's a good album, by the way. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, good point. Good point.
No, that's a good point. That's a fair, because a lot of people definitely will, ignore Drake because of his content and because he's a pop star. But Drake makes good music though. Like, I don't know.
It's like he's talking about what he wants to talk about. Westside Gunn can talk about what he wants to talk about. What's the problem? I that's why when we talked about these albums, I never talk about their content unless it's awful. Like content, that's their life. Like I don't want Drake talking about drugs. Like he talking about women
what's crazy though, he could have songs like Knife Talk. He could say, yo, I got a Drake in the studio and I ain't talking about myself. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fire bar.
As fire as it is, you got Guns in the studio, my G.
I imagine it's somebody who does know.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably does.
I'm pretty sure he does.
What you mean?
Security or something. Look, you got to move smart out here. If you Drake, you got to move smart. I'm pretty sure his homie or whoever he know it ain't Drake's maybe, but I'm pretty sure there's a Goose in the studio.
There's a couple guns around. Unlike Griselda. Griselda got knives. They got fucking. They got swords. They got swords. Hey, somebody in the crew got a sword. I'm a katana. I'm sure.
Yeah, man.
I'm almost certain, bro.
Oh man,
listen,
buddy.
When you guys were on last time, did we do top 5 with Ooch?
We did it on.
We kind of did, yeah.
We did it on our show.
I did want to say mine's is updated. I updated my top 5.
Okay, go. Before we get out of
here, real quick.
People, welcome to the longest show in Beers and Bars history. This has been awesome. Go ahead, QD. Go ahead. Do you think?
So my top 5 changed a little bit.
Okay.
And remember, I had Lloyd Banks and stuff like that. It was early 2020. Remember that? Number 1 is still Tyler, the Creator. Best album, I think, in my opinion. Number 2, my favorite, Vince Staples is number 2 for me, man.
See what I'm saying?
I love that album, man.
It's a good album.
I love it. Vince Staples.
It's a good album. It's a good album. I love that. I love that project. Actually, Vince Staples makes good projects.
He does.
He does.
Big Fish was dope. Like he has a couple of these. I think people are just starting to really catch on.
No, Big Fish was. But okay. What else you have?
Very
what else?
experimental.
The off season 3, 4. Let me think. I got to get back to you on 4 and 5. But off season 3, I'll tell you what. Donda and CLB are not on it, respectfully. but
they're not.
Migos is probably somewhere in there. That's Grown on Me. Really good album. What else? French Montana. No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say,
French guy.
No.
This guy talking about
You're really speaking towards my anxiety around the top 5 conversation because I in our chat, Kamal, I was talking about my mind and how it goes. Like, yo, when the last time you listened to Vince Staples? Because remember, you said Vince Staples was a good album. Like, so I'm not gonna comment on my top 5 right now. All I know is Mark Hamill is number 2 and Tyler is 1 still right now. I don't. On the show we did on y'all joint, Culture 3 was there. But I really still go back to that off-season joint, man. Amari gets a lot of play for me.
Amari is hard.
Amari is on maybe 3 or 4 playlists. It's on my lifting playlist, my run playlist. That joint is Timbo went off on that beat, man.
Yo, I never understood the people who like our first listen said that joint was all right. Like I did, like when I first heard that song, I'm
Amari
like,
or the album?
No, Amari specifically. There's people.
Yeah.
I think Q. Like I talked to a bunch of people. They're like, it's all right. I'm like, nah,
that
dog. Like this song is crazy. Like he
I'm
went
looking at my top 5 right
the
now.
The beat is crazy. I don't think it was in there,
Bro.
Q. I don't think it was in there.
It's gonna be, Apple. I have Apple, so Apple does at the end of the year your top songs. Amari, I think undoubtedly will be number 1. I think so because it's just, bruh.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a great song, but I don't know. I have no idea. My top 5, I'll see. I don't know.
Same with me. I can't really give you my list right now. I gotta really think about this. I got you. I'm gonna have to do that off camera. So get back to me on that one.
Come on.
Yeah.
Look at you on his phone.
Looks like he's checking the numbers right now.
Right.
He's balancing the books.
I'm gonna go back to off season, and I'm gonna go back to Vince Staples joint. Vince Staples joint is really good. I just felt like it was he got really good bars on there. He got bars, but it's just so
it's dull. It's a little dull. It's a little even kill.
It's understated. It's not boisterous at all. But he got some bars on there that after like a few listens, I'm catching new bars. I'm like, yo, okay, Vince. It's just very chill.
I loved his approach.
It's very chill music. It's
he
not
got them underwater beats too. Them underwater beats sometimes.
Oh, I love them underwater beats, man. That's my shit.
I'm stealing y'all shit.
Hey, that's mine. Hey,
I stole it from him.
He stole it from me. Now you stealing it from me.
Drake got a lot of
bikini bottom beats.
Yo, the weekend got underwater beats. They all got them, man.
Yeah,
you can hear it in the production.
Sound is
Like
that's that OVO shit. Yeah, for sure.
You said OVO 40 Shabibi. Shabibi, brother's name.
That's that 40. Yeah, but Tyler is number 1 still. Nothing is touching Tyler. Tyler's got it cohesively.
Man.
The vibes, different vibes, bars, storyline. His joint is an event. It's interesting to listen to. He's got the best album of the year. Now, outside of Tyler, CLB and Donda probably won't make it. And I really like a lot of the songs on Donda.
Take what you want.
I really like what Kanye did with that project, but I do think that it's designed for the stadium.
Concert. Yeah.
It's designed for concerts and for that performance art that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that can probably be trimmed off. Mark Hamill is definitely going to be on there. And I don't think that's a flawless album, but it's very interesting. And Mark is a rapper. This is the first time
he's rapping his ass off.
Like I've heard of Mark Hamill, but this is the first time that I've listened to a project of his. And that's because of Westside. Westside will probably be on my top 5.
Yeah, it might end up. Yeah.
Let's make it official. We got it. Our top 5 of the year for Beers and Bars will be with Ill-Advised Wise Guys.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Are we gonna do
that'd be dope.
We're gonna do like a lot of people? Like what are we gonna do?
That'd be dope.
But okay, but
it's gonna be a panel discussion.
It might be a
panel, dog. I'm gonna bring my whiteboard out. We gonna draw. We gonna get in. We gonna get this in, dog.
Right.
But gonna get the green screen. Whatever we gotta do to make this an event. Let's do that.
But I'm right now. Those 3 albums, Tyler, like those are solidified. Definitely gonna be on my top 5. Everything else right now, I could kind of give or take right now. Like I don't have a 4 and 5 right now. I mean,
I can tell you right now, it's not a good year for albums. I would say it's not been a. It's not
I don't know.
Nah,
We've gotten a lot of good.
Nah,
We've
it's
we've
turned
had
around.
J.
It's
Cole.
turned around. It's
I'm
turned
talking.
around.
I'm talking.
Turned around. It's turned
There's
around.
been some
Look.
good releases, but like nothing great. It's just been Tyler the Creator. For me, that's the only one that's great.
Look, if we can do R&B, Cleo Soul might probably be on my joint.
I don't know if y'all sleeping now, but fam, that shit is hard. Yeah.
The Violent. What's my girl's name?
Okay.
Snow Allegra would probably be on my joint.
But she ain't dropped though. She didn't drop, did she?
Mm-hmm.
Snow Allegra dropped.
Of course she dropped. What do you mean?
God damn,
It's okay, man.
I missed it.
Old dudes listen to R&B still. It's all good, man. We a little bit.
But
That's my thing. That's my thing. I didn't realize she dropped.
They'll take my 4 and 5. But right now, as far as rap, I'm not putting J. Cole on there, man. I'm not putting.
Yo, what's your deal with? I don't
and
understand.
I like J. Cole.
I don't understand this.
No, he don't.
I don't understand this like underlying. You got something going on. You were just.
His joint sound like a mixtape. It don't sound like an album. It sound like a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, you gonna come around. You gonna by the end of the year, I guarantee you gonna make your list. You gonna make your list, and you're gonna be like, nah, it's up there. I'm
gonna listen to it. I'm gonna listen to it again. But right now, the fact that he put Applying Pressure on there bring him down the whole album to me, man. I'm just playing.
And I'm slipping because I really like King Disease too. But go ahead.
King Disease 2 is
yeah.
boy.
What is y'all life about?
You see what I'm saying? I gotta really like.
That's
think
why
about,
QD
I can't just be. I can't come off the cuff with this. Like
it's not that.
King Diseases too. King Diseases too. King Diseases too.
I forgot.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you.
I forgot about that joint.
Rare Form is maybe number 2 right now after Amari at the end of my year listens. I listen. Nas was going that flow. He not 47 or however old he is. He was killing Rare Form.
I gotta go back to that joint. It's a good project. It's a really
Store
good
Run.
project.
What?
Store Run is vintage now.
Store Run,
That's vintage.
Woo.
Man, we've chopped it up for a minute.
Yeah,
hey, hopefully, you know, y'all listeners will actually make it to the end of this episode.
No,
listen.
We've been
I think it was
like 2 hours almost.
It was engaging.
You listen to Donda, you can listen to this, man. Stop playing.
Yeah, man.
Good point.
Listen, tell them where they can follow y'all at. Where can they follow y'all at everywhere?
Yeah, go ahead, Q.
So Ratings Game Music, that's my site. One of the top music sites in the world, according to FeedSpot, according to all these great places. Album reviews, I do a lot of album reviews, single reviews, and things like that. But you can find me on Twitter, QDZ for Sheezy, I believe. Instagram, QDZ for Sheezy. Ratings Game, follow that. And if you see me down the street, I go to Chipotle a lot. You can see me there. I get a lot of chicken bowl, burrito bowls.
What?
There you go.
Veggie bowl.
Yeah. Yo, you giving them what you like to eat, man? Damn.
You can tell them where you can find them.
You know what?
You can find me on the streets.
You did it.
Most likely Chipotle. Yeah.
You answered the question. You right. True. Respect. It's like that.
No.
No, I do want to reiterate though, Ratings Game though, man. We really pushing that. Q has developed a hell of a music site. You know, that shit is really, really doing crazy. Look out for some dope content coming up for Ratings Game for sure. But yeah, you can find me as well. UCHAY on basically every platform, Instagram, Twitter. That's basically the only ones that I use. And yeah, Ill-Advised Wise Guys podcast, man. That's the wave, man. We appreciate y'all as for the second time, at least for me, man, for having me, for real.
Y'all know y'all stuff, man.
We like y'all platform, man.
You dissect music well.
Very well.
I'm definitely always tuned in to what you all are doing on Instagram. Thank you for being a part. Man, this is one for the book.
This is dope.
Luella Cole.
It's sweaty.
Y'all follow ratings Game Music because in QD's when they did their joint for Drake, y'all use the word boaster, which that's fire. G. Nobody uses that. Nobody says boaster a lot. Drake boasters his resume. Yeah.
Facts.
I'm rocking with it. Let's
You know,
go.
That's
that
hilarious.
actually, I wanted to let y'all know that post I did broke records like for our site. It was the
Yeah, it
second
did.
highest. Yeah, it did like
Never get to use that
it did
word
like
enough. I like it.
20K views in a day, something like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, crazy. So
Yeah, I'm always
Shout out.
looking to see your top songs.
I get it wrong a lot, by the way.
It's all good, man.
But it's fun.
I've
It's
been
always fun.
I've been telling you that for years, though. That should be nothing new.
It's fun. It's fun. Nah,
Hey,
nah,
man.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Beers and bars. See y'all
Yes,
next
sir.
time.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.